Hey everybody, welcome again to Old Dirty Gamers, episode 3. We missed you, we love you, and we're back. You've got Richard Stanley, Eric Burruel, Terry Hodge, and this week we've got Dan Cannan bringing us some nasty stuff to put in our mouth. So that being what it is, we're going to start off with the fabulous Terry Hodge. Tell us about what we missed this week and what we can do.
Well, this segment we're going to call Terry's Hot Release, where I bring up a couple games that came out since our last conversation and a couple things that might be coming up in the future. Just the really big titles, the hot releases that came out. We'll skip over a lot of the minute garbage that came out. You can look that up in your own time. So
Mostly Sony.
Dude, Sony has so many terrible games that came out. I don't even get into it, but we'll talk about one or two. Yeah. So our first hot release would be Dragon Age Inquisition, The Revenge of the Sith.
That is pretty much what that looks like.
The Awakening of the Force.
This is our episode 3, so I assume that we've
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We should start coming up with nicknames for episodes. I like Revenge of the Sith.
Not Return of the Grey Warden, sadly.
No, sorry. So Dragon Age Inquisition, a couple of fans here. I know Dan, Rich definitely both played it. Could you give us a bit of rundown? Let's say if you haven't played Dragon Age, what is it and why should we be interested?
Sure. So Grey Warden was the main character from the first story, and it was kind of a tactical Baldur's Gate, Dungeons and Dragons kind of game where you could get a lot of different characters, and it was very technical, top down. It did do some auto battle and stuff for you, but the most part, people loved that game, so they brought out a sequel. It was made by the same people, BioWare. I think everybody here knows BioWare. Oh, yeah. Makes Mass Effect, and because people liked Mass Effect so much, the sequel had not the Grey Warden in it, a different person entirely, but that individual was a little more action-packed in their attacks. You kind of had a little more action with just a couple of buttons to different things. There's a big controversy about that, but they're trying to kind of make a melded version of that due to how people felt about the first couple of games. And so Inquisition is supposed to bring in still some action, but bring back more of the tactical stuff. It's going to have a lot more characters in it. You kind of have to take a leadership role of almost an entire army for it. So I haven't gotten the opportunity to open it yet. It's in my stack. I'm looking forward to it. But it should be a good time.
Yeah. And Jason Mewes loves it, apparently.
Does he?
Yeah, there's a Facebook post, Jason Mewes getting into Dragon Age.
I can't even imagine Jason Mewes running an army of anything.
Well, I imagine him being really a savant when he's playing, but if you asked him to explain, he'd be like, "Oh, you just fucking doing this," and then you're like, "Fuck you!"
It's Snoochie Booches.
And you're like, "Wow,
that's probably the name of his
character."
character.
Explain what he's doing at all.
No, not at all. And I don't know why everyone that he works with are dwarves in trench coats. It's just so weird. So weird.
It's a whole army full of dwarves in trench coats.
And they don't talk. It's weird.
And they know none of them have any lines.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's out on all major consoles and PC, and I believe you got to check it out at E3, right?
Yeah, we saw the presentation
Yep.
from BioWare. Did not get to play it. We watched them play it, but it was still looks good. I'll certainly get it eventually.
Didn't you pick it up?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, look for some reviews on GlitchSlap.com. Our next big game we're going to talk about is going to be Far Cry 4, which also came out for all major consoles and PC. A couple of fans here. I personally haven't played it, but I know that I checked it out with my sister's husband, and we played 3 in the kind of 80s throwback one that came out, which was pretty cool. Anyone here?
Blood Dragon?
Yes, Blood Dragon.
Yeah. No, I didn't play. I almost did. I mean, any game where you're like a cyborg with laser hands and stuff, and it's like do-do-do, do-do-do. I wanted to play it.
I think that was free too. I think.
No,
it wasn't.
Nothing in this game worth playing is free.
Well, it probably is by now.
No.
No, not even if you're a PlayStation Plus or Gold member. So I guess those don't have a lot of value to them. But so
free from Ubisoft is just it's so funny.
If you've never played Far Cry before, you're kind of a guy that gets dropped on an island or environment, and you have to survive the first-person game.
White people surviving in a place with not a lot of white people.
We call that...
It speaks to that terror of white people.
Yeah. Far Cry 5 is in Detroit.
Far Cry Detroit, right?
sounds a lot like the plot to that movie The Impossible, where there's a tsunami in the Middle East, and millions of Middle Eastern people die, but one white family made it out.
Yeah. I want Far Cry 6 to definitely be about Sharknado.
Yeah?
They just drop you off in New York.
I'm sure that stuff will be in the PC thanks to the modding community, giving you pretty much whatever you want. So
yeah, please.
Yep, better graphics for PC.
Dead Island Sharknado would be amazing.
Yep. The game got a lot of press for things like riding elephants and a lot of the melee combat, and also some support from celebrities like the what's his name, Donald Glover. Donald Glover, also the comedian and rapper. He made some music videos for it, and he's even in the commercial, which I saw him and that Middle Eastern guy from their show. What's it called? Crap Community.
Who's Donald Glover?
Community.
Crap.
One of the greatest shows ever.
I've never watched it.
There
Apparently,
never
it's
was.
horrible.
There never
Terry's
was.
trolling
Donald
Oh,
Glover?
yeah.
Him and Abed? Nice.
Yeah.
Was he in Lethal Weapon?
No, that's Danny. That's
Danny Glover.
Danny
Oh,
Glover.
of course.
He is getting too old for that kind of
Yeah, he
shit.
tried to get on Community, but unfortunately, he was too
I
old.
watched Community of Danny Glover. Man, I don't know about going back to school in my 80s.
I wouldn't watch it with just him. You would need to have the whole team: Riggs, Murtaugh, Joe Pesci. Okay. I'm going to class, and okay. Oh, that guy
Have
was
you
so
seen
annoying.
pictures of Joe Pesci
Is he?
recently?
I thought he was dead. I didn't know.
Joe Don't crush our website, Joe Pesci. We love you.
I thought you were dead. Honestly, at least
Oh
your
my
career
God.
is dead. So.
Oh, no, we don't know him. I don't know him. I
I
don't.
said that, Joe Pesci. I'm coming to get you.
Shit.
Yeah,
Joe
I
Pesci's
wouldn't
gonna
piss
bring.
off Joe- I
No,
wouldn't piss
Joe
off
Pesci
Joe
will
Pesci.
own you.
If Joe Pesci did say something about our site, I think that would be fantastic.
It would.
To be fair, yeah. Let's do some Kim Kardashian marketing.
Oh,
we
yeah.
hate you. Oh, we're starting to feud with Joe Pesci.
Oh yeah, Joe
God.
Pesci, it's on. I'm about to make a
God.
rap song
Eric
about how
said
you
your
suck.
mom's fat.
That's right.
Joe
Okay.
Pesci's not gonna watch our stuff.
Our next big release.
I don't know if Joe Pesci knows what the internet is. So that's
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my God. Okay. He's got a guy for that.
Here's one thing though. Okay, there
No,
are.
he was in that Snickers commercial not too long ago.
What was he doing in the Snickers commercial?
He was
The video
being
games.
what you shouldn't be, like. And then
Oh,
the guy ate the
stop being
Snickers.
Joe Pesci
Yeah,
and then
stop
give him a
being Joe
Snickers.
Pesci.
Yeah,
I
become
want
a
them
real
to
Joe
do that
Pesci
if someone
and
turns
become
into Felicia Day.
Oh my God.
Hey, every time you play World of Warcraft, you turn into Felicia Day.
Whoa,
I
hey.
have this Snickers,
Oh.
and she's just like, "Oh my God!" That would be great. That would be
Would
great.
be.
Right now, please, Felicia Day Snickers commercial.
But she has to dress like her character
Make a
from
connection.
World of Warcraft, so
Oh
like
my
an iron
God.
bikini or something.
You know what? Actually, so it's funny that we bring that up in terms of Inquisition. She was in the previous. She was in Dragon Age 2.
She was in one of the DLCs.
Yeah, she played her elf character in Dragon Age 2. You can download Felicia Day. If you didn't know that, now you want to buy the game.
Oh, now I want to buy the
See,
game.
But you can play Felicia Day.
We just sold Dragon Age 2 to Eric. He's gonna get like the pack with all the DLC.
I can't wait to dive into the Elder Scrolls. Wait,
wrong game.
Is
Wrong
this
game.
the same dragons? No.
Eric Burruel is going to be
He
constantly
likes
saying things
space
to try to upset
He's
everyone
not in
in the
space.
world
He
right
doesn't
now.
know. It's okay. It can still be knights, ninjas with swords that have lasers, but it's got to be on a spaceship or it's not legit.
Does
Just so you know.
any of the dragons have a bionic eye? 'Cause I can
Actually,
get down with that.
they might.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So there are dragons in Dragon Age, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I want to move on to our next hot release, if
All
you
right.
guys don't mind.
Before our computer shuts off.
Exactly.
You
Grand
know
Theft
what?
Auto 5 came out for Xbox One and PS4.
That's a big thing.
And that's a
Apparently.
big deal. We're going to be playing it ourselves on GlitchSlap. We're looking at doing some Let's Plays coming up down the pipe. That's down the pipe, though. You can look at that at a later date.
Down
Your
his
Let's
pipe.
Play just me running around trying to kill people.
That'd
That's
be
about
fun.
all I do. In Grand
You know,
Theft
the funny
Auto.
thing about it is that
I play the storyline enough so I can get like the army to come after me, and then I just stop, and then I just try to get away
I
from
mean,
the army.
people do Let's Plays of like DayZ and shit like that, so it's not far out of the realm that people would do a Let's Play of Grand Theft Auto.
Well, it's
That
big
already
because it's
exists.
FPS now.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can turn it. Everybody doesn't really care as much about the game because the game was out. Like it
Right.
wasn't.
It's
Been out for a while, but they didn't have the FPS edition of it. So now people are just basically driving buses over people. They're just trying to do things, jumping off buildings and watching. So it's almost like buying a $60 GoPro that you're running. It's like taking like Los Angeles kind of is
Sure.
what it's like,
And-
and just hanging out in LA with a GoPro without leaving your house. That's almost entirely what they're doing.
Yep. Also
It's
making
fine.
yourself immortal because the stuff you do in the game,
Yeah.
you got just run around in first person.
I mean, I just want to buy the game so I can jump off tall buildings. And can you imagine playing that with an Oculus?
Oh my god, that would be so sweet. But
would
the
be.
but the graphics only offer
So many good
Oculus
ideas
sucks,
on
so-
All Dirty Gamers. Oculus and Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes.
Go.
You hear that,
Ideas,
Sony?
copyright,
Let's
go.
get it done.
Go.
Hashtag.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. This I want to touch on a game that's not a huge release, but just because I know Dan's a big fan of Japanese schoolgirls.
I love Japanese.
Do you want to say the name in case I mispronounce it?
Hatsune Miku, Project Diva, F second.
Well, you
All
know
right.
it's Japanese because it's 10 stories long.
Coming out for PS3 and Vita.
Tomiku.
What kind of game is this?
It's a rhythm game. You get to watch music videos with young Japanese schoolgirls
So,
dancing around.
The entire rhythm is just like
Too.
this the whole time.
Right.
I got rhythm.
Project Tomiku.
Can you play it with one hand?
No.
Ah.
I mean, you know.
に関するこちらの情報がウェブで見つかりました。
Damn.
Yeah.
I tried to find it on my
Too bad.
iPhone. I speak Japanese with my Siri.
Too bad, sir. You didn't keep up.
No.
But it's coming out. If you're into rhythm-based games, this one is very popular amongst
Nerds. Not
Dan.
Singing.
It's really big in Japan. It's really big in Japan.
Right? Oh, it's huge. Yeah,
They do like live
arcade.
concerts and stuff.
Yeah, she does.
And
She's a hologram. She performs as a hologram in live concerts.
And
One
can
of
you
these
get
days,
a full pillow?
We're gonna take a
over
field
the
trip.
body
We're gonna bring everybody to Japan
yeah,
when we
there's
actually
so
make
many-
money, and then we'll
so
show
many
everybody the
products.
massive
Do you have
arcades.
one?
How long until you take some of the Macross?
I do not.
That's
I have a
exactly
little-
what I was
I
thinking.
have a little,
But you haven't watched any of
figurine
the virtual stuff.
Ever, because when I bought the PSP version in Japan, it came with like a little Hatsune Miku figurine.
Oh, wow.
So I have a little, but that's about it.
By the
Not
way,
creepy at all.
By the way,
it really
you
isn't creepy.
You are fucking selling yourself right now.
Ladies, he's single.
he's got a lot of
He
time
comes
on his
bearing
hands.
bacon-flavored soda and Hatsune Miku dolls. Jump on that while you can.
Before you
Send
snatched
emails
up.
to GlitchSlap.com. Dan Cannan. That's what I said, Cannan.
That's right.
Lives
For
to
a
please.
reason.
Dan's oddities.
Next on our list of hot releases is Little Big Planet 3 for PS3 and PS4. If you like platformers where you can have a just incredible amount of user-created content, this game series will totally take over your life for at least 3 to 4 weeks. I've played it myself, 1 and 2, enjoyed a lot of it. I played through most of the main story, but after that I kind of moved on to the user-created content where it really opens up, and that's where there's a lot of fun to it. But also you're going to run into a lot of crap too, because you don't really know unless you read the reviews off of each user-created level. And
Sock puppets.
it's sock puppets that you can dress up and make look like anything that you want, and also downloadable costumes.
I want you to think about
so it's pretty dress up with sock puppets.
I want
And
you to think
platforming.
about that if that
Actually, Hatsune Miku
wasn't
doesn't
something on a
dress
video
Hatsune
game
Miku.
and there was a man who had like a sock puppet show, and what he did was to make different sock puppets and play platforming, but you did that at home, would that fucking sell? And I don't think it would.
I think it's a great idea, and we should really get to work on that as a side project.
I agree.
Glitch Slap
Obviously.
Puppeteers. Hashtag.
Glitch puppeteers.
But this is going to be a big release. Lots of
Makes
people are going to buy into this and it's going to make buttloads of money, because essentially what the developers have been doing is creating a kit and saying, okay, here's a couple of levels that we created, go nuts and do whatever, make the rest of the game for us, and we're done. Yeah. It's a great. I think it's a great idea. I like the simplicity of it, and I like how easy to pick up and play it is, and it's a great party game.
Cool. Sure.
Yeah, I highly advise checking it out. But our next hot release, moving right along, is going to be Rabbids Invasion for PS4.
Oh, here we go. The stuff of nightmares.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. So I don't know how much. What were you guys saying was coming from? It's based
a
on
Rayman spinoff.
Rain
Rayman
Man spinoff.
spin-off.
Yeah.
So here's what basically, like, if you're gonna play this game, the main characters are these. Oh my fucking god! We're gonna eat your face! I don't know why that's a good idea. That's the stuff of
terrorize
nightmares.
your friends.
Yeah.
And go ahead and get that.
They're a lot of
game.
fun. All
Eric
you do
Burruel
is
knows the whole
all
backstory.
you
He's a
do-
huge
yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
All you do is extreme violence to those rabbits.
To them? You don't do it as a
No,
rabbit.
to them. No.
What?
They
That's
do
why
shit,
they like-
and then you
that's why
either
they
hit
like
them
horrifying.
or work on,
Is it like
dentistry on
lemmings
them.
or something like? How does
What do you like dissect them, or what are you doing?
sometimes
Horrible
like
like
things to them?
Operation?
Sometimes you're smacking them a lot. What the backstory of the rabbits is apparently they used to be really nice and would help people out, but since they were so nice and easily taken advantage of, people would fuck with them all the time, and that drove them collectively as a race insane. And now you just do extreme violence to them. It's a lot of fun.
If you're a monster, Jesus Christ.
This is our resident liberal, and he's
I know.
talking about how fun it is to
There's one where you
attack
like
rabbits.
this and you can like do this and it's like, it's great.
So if you want to hurt
Anyways.
rabbits in the digital universe, check out the game PS4. Have fun with that.
Please do it in a video game and not in real life. I think we
Please
should
do.
stress that.
Very faces of deathy. Anyways, moving on.
With rabbits.
Moving right along to our next hot release is going to be Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. More Pokemon, more fun for your 3DS.
Speaking of Terry's hot loads.
Terry Hodge loves him some Pokemon. If
I
you didn't
love
watch the last
Pokemon.
episode, he's all about Pokemon.
I love
You know,
Pokemon.
there's a Pokemon that literally created the universe.
Yes, there is.
That's how far we've gone.
The Pokemons are the gods. They're the food. They're everything in their universe.
And yet we kidnap them,
food?
shove them in these
Yeah.
little balls, and then make them fight for our own amusement.
Some of them are literally ice cream. There's one
America.
that's an ice
Oh
cream.
no, it's made by
It's
Japan.
Japan, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But we were discussing the Pokemon
That's
series
the future
earlier,
of evolution.
and we really think the game has some real room for growth, and an idea that my buddy Rich came up with, which is a post-apocalyptic older future where Ash Ketchum comes out of a
Pokemon.
Yeah,
a
I
vault.
was
We call
the
it
Fallout 3
Pokemon.
spin-off, Fallout Pokemon.
Exactly.
Like a Fallout spin-off where you play like a post-apocalyptic version of that. I'd probably play that because
Yeah.
thinking about the Pokemon really is it's not like I don't watch anime, right? Like I watch Attack on Titan and stuff like that. I've been big into anime since I was young, but it's too kiddie for me. It's too much. Like it's the same reason why I don't, not to say anything bad about World of Warcraft, but I'm not a World of Warcraft player myself, and that mostly has to do with the art style. I know they're updating and stuff, and so I would say the same thing about Pokemon, right? It's too young and cartoony. I've moved on. I don't really like harem animes and stuff anymore. So if they made a grittier version where something went wrong and you had to start over with just Pikachu because like you had to leave and somehow they all got abandoned, you had to collect them when the world was destroyed and there were zombies.
Well, the Poke Centers probably got destroyed, and that's where all your Pokemon stay when they're not actively on your person, because you only carry like 6 at a time. So maybe 9 in the new ones. I'm not too sure. I started off with Red and Blue. I played a couple of the other ones in ROMs and what have you, but I haven't really picked up a major release in quite some time. So I'm missing out on some of the ice cream based Pokemon and Cloud and Pillow and Sheep based ones.
Jesus.
I don't know what any of what you just said means.
I don't know.
Ice cream based Pokemon.
There is an ice cream based Pokemon. It evolves from like 1 scoop to 3.
Oh,
in like
okay.
10
So is it like a
15
cone
years
of ice
we'll
cream?
have
Yes, with a smiley face on it.
Pokemon Age of Pikachu, and then
Oh my
Pokemon Infinity War.
Oh my god.
Part 1 and Part 2.
Part 1 and Part 2 Ash
There
Ketchum
are-
loses
Hey
an
guys,
eye.
that was
no Pokeballs in me.
Oh my god. The Pokeballs have been destroyed. You can only carry around like 2 Pokemon that have to run constantly so you don't travel very far.
some of us are looking forward to the Avengers movie.
Robert Downey.
Some of
Jr.
us are.
Some of us are.
You know,
Robert
personally, I
Downey
don't
Jr.
like the
Ash
Avengers.
Ketchum.
I think it's terrible.
It's the end.
Robert Downey
the end of the
Jr.
path
as
I put us on.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's how Mom did it.
I guess the robotic Pokemon would start to take over, you know, Voltorb and
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Pokemon Jericho.
Nuts.
God, and we just broke the internet.
Yeah.
Look out, Kim Kardashian. We're coming for
Dan's
you.
ass broke the internet. It wasn't actually Kim Kardashian.
Oh my god.
You don't want to see my ass.
We wouldn't be able to put it on YouTube. So.
No. We need a wider camera for that.
You love his ass. Hot release.
Our next hot release is going to be Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U.
Look, hey, if you attack it, you can totally change into your ultimate form.
Oh crap! Everything is all right. Cool.
Well, if this was the Smash power up, the Super Smash item, whatever the hell they call it, you can hit it a bunch of times and you won't necessarily get it.
It seems pretty random.
Oh,
Yeah.
I fucking hate it when I hit it once and then it goes away and then
Yeah, you can hit it off screen.
Hits it.
It's great. But so Dan, did you get to play it with us? No.
No, I didn't play with you. I played at E3.
Okay, so you
I
played the
sucked at it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Sucked at it so much they eventually just gave me a shirt.
this shirt, as a matter of fact,
Please take this.
this,
and leave.
this shirt here,
in this area
Yeah.
and stuff.
that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm too fat to get out of my chair. So I would say about Smash Brothers, since we got a chance to play it a little bit last night. I mean, it was fun. You got to play Charizard, your personal favorite.
Yes, I did. It was awesome. You could turn him green. He looks like a real dragon,
Like a real boy.
like a real boy. He really finally made it, folks.
I played.
Charizard Inquisition.
We played
Elder
Jesus.
Scrolls.
The Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls 6, Charizard the Inquisition.
Both.
Coming out for your
you guys are
PC.
giving me a Charizard on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my
I'm about to do Mega Blast or Hyper
All
Beam.
over release. So I would say that after playing it for a little while, that I like that there's some definitive differences between the characters a little more than there used to be. It felt like that they'd have the alternates to the characters and they kind of played too similar. I've had traditionally some issues with Samus. I really like Zero Suit Samus in this one. I feel like it's a much more different play experience between Toon Link / Young Link and the older Link in this one. And so there's some different characters in it. I'm pretty excited to play along. So it's gonna be a cool week. We're obviously gonna have some kind of a let's play or review on it. So keep that up and we'll get to it later this week.
Heck yeah, it was a great time. Only complaint that I think either one of us could have was maybe that the camera pulled out a little bit too far from the characters, and it was a little bit difficult to do like precision attacks and things of that nature when you're this big on a screen that's like this big, and you're just like, I got you. It's just a little weird. It's a little hard to see what's going on.
Yeah, they could definitely take advantage of, as we were discussing earlier, the the actual Wii U controllers, if they could allow you to just play with 4 of them, and I know that would be an expensive investment for some people, but they're already letting people buy, $30 basically one-use controllers for the game that are GameCube controllers. I think that would work out really well, because if you had the number of 8 players and you got far away, it could zoom in on your character to see what's going on around you a little easier. That would probably help a lot for us older people who need accessibility options for
the
our video
elderly
games.
when playing Smash Brothers.
Definitely.
And also the basic intro control scheme, pretty much everybody customized it and changed it to a way that made more sense. Like just picking it up and playing it just didn't gel with the old way you played Smash Bros, Melee, Brawl. None of that really was going through none of the inputs were familiar. It felt awkward at first. We all set our control settings based on what we were using, which was classic controllers, Wii U and a nunchuck, and the gamepad. So, besides those pieces, fun game. You'll see a little bit more about it a little later on from us. As far as new releases go, for the coming weeks, there isn't really too much coming out. Persona Q is coming out for PS3, and Kingdom Hearts 2.5, which I'm super pumped up about. Super pumped up. It's gonna be dope. I'm gonna play it and do some reviews on it for the website. So take a look at that coming up. And it's going to have a lot of new content in it, a lot of things that you couldn't play before unless you had a PSP, like Birth by Sleep and other little bits of the story. Basically, Square Enix is going to continue to tease you for the long-awaited Kingdom Hearts 3, which is going to rock everybody's socks off or be a huge overhyped disappointment. We'll see, because it's been so long.
At least until rock your socks off.
At least until...
yeah, you can say about Final Fantasy 13, right?
See, I didn't dislike Final Fantasy 13 nearly as much as everybody else.
I've never really played it. I watched
two different people
playing it mostly.
I went to the midnight release.
And I thought it was good. I mean, it has like Square Enix games.
So the major complaint about 13 then was the linear part of the game.
Right.
Oh man, we got into a big deep discussion about how they're all linear. It's just been how they've been able to basically fool people into. They were better in other games at fooling people into believing that they had access to more than they did.
Right.
Like you could walk around an open world area. There were still only 2 towns, but
and only one place you're supposed to go to continue the story.
Right.
It's an RPG,
Same
folks.
thing with Dragon Age.
Yeah. Well, Dragon Age 1 was like
Dragon Age 1
was like a big map. It was like Fallout.
Yeah,
you still
but
could go a bunch of places.
But you had to do it. You could pick the order which you had to do it, but you had to do 3.
Well, and that's what I think people wanted, was they wanted to pick the order. Well, we're going to see with 15, because 15 looks to be, I mean, I don't know when it's going to finally come out, but it looks to be like a giant open world kind of a game where you and your gay friends drive around inside a car and
that's when
have
I
a good
buy
old
PS4.
time. Yeah.
I'll buy a PS4
like
for
crossover
Final
into
Fantasy
Britney
15.
Spears?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It's like a gay road trip. I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh
Because
my
there's
god,
not
the
enough
trailer
of that.
looks so beautiful.
Final
Looks
Fantasy
amazing.
Queen of the Desert.
Queen of the Desert.
Oh, goodness.
Oh god.
So what can
Thanks, Julie Newmar, Final Fantasy.
Thanks for everything, Cloud Newmar.
As far as hot release
yes.
goes, that about wraps it up. I do want to touch on Kingdom Hearts 3. My personal wishes for that are stages like on the World Ends With You stage from that game, if anyone ever played that.
I mean, there's going to be a Frozen stage. I don't know what to tell you at this
there
point.
probably is going to
But
be a Frozen
if
stage.
they didn't have one, there's going to be one now. They
Yeah.
stopped game development to add a Frozen stage at this point.
Disney is very wealthy and has a lot of money to throw around.
Yeah.
I read an article about how Disney should spend $19 billion to buy Nintendo, and I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I kind of agree as well.
They
I
did
think
a lot with Marvel and
Yeah,
now
man.
Lucasfilm.
I think they should get out of everything except the handhelds, and Nintendo should just sell software and do handhelds and stop with the Wii business. I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
we've been
imagine
saying
if you
that
could play Smash Bros. With a PlayStation 3 controller.
Yeah, there you go.
Goodbye, Wii. I wouldn't even buy it. What, I could play on PS3? Well,
That's all anybody.
It would come out on
Window.
Xbox and it would come out on PS3 because they're not going to care. Disney would be like, all y'all.
as
Yeah.
many platforms as possible.
Yeah,
We'll get it on your phone. We'll get it on your back. We'll play it
Smash
beside
Brothers on your phone. Just
I would not be surprised.
it wouldn't even be
honestly.
that hard, really.
Yeah, I mean,
Literally
literally.
rhythm on a Vita.
You could like push one way and then like shake your phone to smash and then like A and B and boom, you're
Boom. Done deal. But that's a wrap for Terry's hot release.
All
Thank
right.
everybody for taking a listen. I look forward to our next release. The winter season's going to be a little bit dry, but there will be a couple of good titles coming out over the next month, so we'll touch base. Next hot release.
Thank you,
I'll
Terry.
save up a really good release for you.
Thank you. All right, so the first thing we're going to do next is something we don't normally do. We just came back from a couple of weeks in Portland where we're scoping out some places that we're thinking
we
about.
did?
Everybody except he doesn't like cold places. He's too lean.
He didn't want to go. He
Too
was
much
invited.
meat, not enough
It was
fat.
He
really
should have
cool.
gone. But
He was
didn't.
invited.
He would have
but
gone. He would
didn't
have
wanna
driven
go.
with us.
No, just went to work.
Last minute. Screw out.
Yeah, we tried, and he said
Secret
no.
squirrel style.
He had to get
Yeah.
laid or something. So
Yeah, you know.
Hear that, internet? Apparently, I had to get laid instead of going to Portland. That didn't happen.
I should mention that Terry's parents watch this broadcast too,
Yeah,
so
they do.
that's what he was doing.
Oh my God.
They do. They're gonna watch this.
Yes.
Mom and Dad.
He's so cute though.
He is so cute. He's our Terry.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
Terry. So we got these sodas. So what are the flavors we got here, Dan?
Well, we've got sweet corn.
And I'm gonna actually pass this over to the split camera so people can see these close up. So we got sweet corn soda.
Sweet corn.
So
Ooh,
good.
oh my God.
That seems
And,
like
and the one I'm
mildest out of
expecting
all
is
of
going to
them.
be the best, which is ranch dressing.
Absolutely, ranch dressing soda. So
Oh, these are
delicious.
Lester Fixin sodas. Oh, and then we got peanut butter and jelly.
Oh my God.
Give you a nice little close up of that delicious looking sandwich right there. Meat curtains.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
Speaking of meat curtains, now we also have bacon.
Bacon soda. Now I was told that this already by somebody else is a very confusing experience, but this
I
is
know
what
bacon.
happens when
I
you
know
find-
bacon as a fact does
interesting
not
stuff.
improve beer because I have had the Rogue Bacon Maple Ale. and it was
That's
not
true.
good. Now we
Terrible.
also have buffalo wings. Soda.
This is gonna be the craziest spicy soda. Look at that buffalo wing soda. So we are going to open all these up and we're gonna try them and we're gonna tell you what we feel. So I'm gonna let you choose, Dan. How's the poison gonna start out with this? What are we?
Do you want to do
what
one
are we
at a
gonna
time
do?
for everybody?
I think
We
we're
all
gonna
try
do-
one.
I think we should go through one at a time and
Oh,
let the
sweet
camera
Jesus.
see how
All right,
terrible
we're gonna
we are.
start with the bacon.
Oh, gosh.
Because
This is very prophetic, like
Bacon.
Ian Malcolm in
Oh, wait.
in Jurassic Park when he said, chaos theory. Just because you
Life will
can do
find a way.
something
Doesn't mean
that
you
Don't do it.
should.
Wait.
Now,
for it.
I should say that Jones Cola, Jones Cola kind of releases.
Oh, I can smell it over here.
grandma. All right, let's just do this. It's like
Wait,
medication.
I want to comment one thing before we try these. These have been sitting out here for like an hour and a half. And we're in Phoenix, Arizona, and even in the winter, things get pretty warm. This is warm bacon flavored soda.
about room temperature.
About room temperature.
To be fair, I don't think cooling them off would really improve them any. So let's do this.
This
Here
is
we
all
go.
for you. I'm gonna try not to smell it because I can't even imagine
The long drag.
confusion.
It tastes like cream soda with Bacos.
Okay, so let's get a little. Oh, that smells like fat. It smells. This smells like. Oh, it smells
Oh,
like vegetable
yeah.
oil.
It is like, it kind of tastes like the stuff you put on your baked potato, the little like shaky
Yeah.
stuff, and also bacon strips, which you would give to your
Bacon
dog.
strips,
Not that
yeah.
I've ever eaten them.
I've never eaten bacon strips. but
This
I've
is
had
not
vegan
nearly
bacon.
as bad as you would think it is.
I'm sure.
I want. That's actually. Maybe that's why you were confused. It's sweeter than I thought it would
It
be.
is.
Yeah, it is
It is
significantly
really
sweet.
sweet.
But it smells like oil.
It does. It smells like motor oil.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh God.
It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, though. I'm going to go back for a second.
Tastes like
Oh
the
my
bottom
gosh.
of a
All right.
fry.
I'm gonna have some water to
Yeah,
wash
let's-
it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's
Tastes
oh.
like the shit at the bottom of like a grease.
Oh God!
It
Take a
does.
bigger swig. No, if you
Alright.
didn't take a bigger,
took a
oh
bigger
God!
swig.
Put like in your mouth, and then it tastes like oil.
So are we looking for an
Yeah.
aftertaste swig here? All right.
Oh God! And then it
Like if you ever
There
had
it
to
is.
clean that shit.
There it is.
oh fuck me!
I think we should drink some water, cleanse the palate, as it were.
Oh yeah, we're in a bottle of water.
my
I'm
gosh.
gonna pass that shit. Oh my
I
God!
can't wait
Did you get that afterwards?
for
I
the
didn't.
rest.
I took
I
just
just got it
the
just now.
front, and then at the end it was like, here's. Oh, this is some delicious sugary oil. No,
Yeah.
that was not good.
All right,
Ooh.
so
And just so you know, sodas are related to video gaming because you drink them when you're playing games. So okay.
Not
so
these,
now we
though.
got sweet
Oh.
corn. Let's try this.
Oh, I'm hoping this will be a little better. So I would take a
I feel
big
like This is
swig.
gonna be the most mild out of all. of them.
I think so too.
It smells like corn.
Take a big swig though, because I've just
Oh, God.
just learned that if you don't
Jesus.
take, oh God, don't
God.
backwashing.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Actually, that's not bad.
We're that close. So
I'm imagining that sweet corn soda probably isn't going to be
It's
too
not
bad.
bad, actually.
High fructose corn syrup.
apparently I don't. Apparently I don't
Apparently
like
Terry
corn.
doesn't like corn.
Apparently I don't like corn.
It's a way to get your corn without it, coming on your poop.
The really
Now to
corny,
be fair, I took the first drink of the bacon, was like, that's not so bad, but that was a bit. It tastes like cream soda with corn. It's not
does,
bad.
but it's really corny. I don't like. I guess I don't like corn.
He doesn't like his soda
But you know
like he
what?
likes his comedy.
Exactly.
It tastes better than it smells.
It does
smells
taste
like
better.
cream corn.
It does smell like cream corn.
You know, it's probably because I can't eat popcorn.
It does
I don't
smell-
really like corn in general.
It smells like an open can of cream corn, but when you taste it, it's like cream soda with
Soda
corn.
with, like,
so
corn
actually,
in it.
so I would
I
say
like the cream.
It's
that I'm going to
pretty
make
good,
this a
actually.
10.
Yeah.
Out of
Oh.
all the things that we could, this is a 10, and that's like a 2.
Yeah.
That tasted like
Eric,
No.
what do you think? 2?
Yeah, definitely too.
I would go with it.
There
too.
are
I'd
some
go with
people who would
water,
probably
yeah,
drink
water,
that,
too.
but it would not be any of us, and that tastes like the water that they have on the west side of Phoenix.
I was gonna-
I know everybody likes to say bacon makes everything better. Not soda.
And not beer.
No.
All right, so now we've got peanut butter and jelly soda.
So this is another one that might not be so
I
bad.
know, I
I'm
was
confused
thinking
about the.
that.
Oh, look at that!
Yes.
Getting
What are you
excited.
doing?
Drink
Little,
it, dude.
Oh my God.
Put that in your
Why'd you put
mouth.
that in your mouth?
You're wasting it.
Unbelievable.
Smells actually smells
2014,
Okay.
we're wasting sodas, America. There's starving children in Africa that would love these sodas.
Maybe not the bacon one though.
Not,
Maybe not.
I don't think they're gonna be picky
Like
on it.
white people.
I'd say about a 5.
Yeah, okay.
All
A
right.
5. So
It's
give
got
it
a
a. What
weird
does it
after-
smell like?
it's got a
Oh
weird
God!
aftertaste.
Jesus! What does it? Give us a. What does it smell like?
It smells fruity.
Okay, so.
It's got a fruity
I
aroma.
really-
Okay, so it
I'm not-
smells like a Jolly Rancher.
I
It
feel like you
smells
like a
a
la-
strawberry
like a
Jolly.
Laffy Taffy kind
Yeah,
of thing,
yeah,
right?
it does, yeah.
Okay.
I'm- what
Now
do you
everybody
give it, a
keeps
5?
making
Nice
these.
5.
I give it like maybe a 6. It's actually kind of good. That's actually, you know what, that's my 10. I like that one better than the corn. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's pretty sweet.
So the peanut butter flavor is an aftertaste.
It is.
They've done an interesting job with having a couple of notes on these sodas. Like there's the first flavor and then the second flavor.
I'm kind of legitimately impressed by that.
That's not bad. That's
No,
not
it's
bad.
not. It's
I would
calling
give
that-
that an 8.
I'm calling
personally.
that a 10. I really like it.
I like corn, so for me, I'd give this a 10. I'd give that an 8. He would
I
give
hate
this
corn.
a 10,
That's awful.
and that's an 8.
That's
Oh no, you
not-
want like a
that's-
3?
I'd give
Oh,
this
yeah,
a
that's
4,
terrible.
man. It tastes,
Really?
It tastes like watered down fucking cough syrup.
Okay, so just so you know, we have a very
I like
diverse set of
coffee.
palates here.
Right.
So
So now the one,
we all agree on the bacon.
the one that I'm probably the most afraid of.
Oh,
God,
I'm
no.
actually most
Ranch-
afraid of this, but
I'm
ranch
most afraid of that one.
dressing.
All right.
I mean, I like to dip things in ranch, but
So,
I don't
do you
usually
like
just
ranch?
eat ranch.
I do.
so-
I like blue
You like
cheese
ranch?
better, but I think
I do like blue cheese better.
But
than
I think
ranch,
blue
yeah.
cheese would be even worse.
I just want to say up front, I don't like ranch. It's just, I think it's one of the worst things ever.
horrible.
I don't want ranch anywhere near my body. I'm
Please
legitimately
don't
considering
spit it
not
out.
eating this, not drinking this at all. I might just bail on this one. I really hate ranch.
No, you got it.
Oh my God.
Oh, good luck. Good luck. Oh God, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, hold on.
aim away from the equipment, please.
Oh, I'm not
You don't
gonna
have to
throw
take
up.
a
It's
huge
just
swing.
really bad.
Oh.
I still
You can do it, I believe in
need
you.
some water.
I'm just pretty sure black people aren't supposed to drink ranch, man. It's not supposed
White
to touch
people
us.
aren't supposed to be.
No, it's like our arsenic.
White people are supposed to
Alright.
drink ranch?
It is.
What would you like better as a soda that would be like weird?
Hot sauce. Like black people love
Okay,
hot
so
sauce.
maybe
I don't like hot sauce
buffalo
either. I
wing
don't like hot
soda.
sauce
I
either.
mean,
I
I don't
fall
know
right
what
in
to
the
find
middle.
No,
out.
I really want to taste it.
I'm gonna just.
100%
Where's your
now.
water? Let's
Don't
compare.
sniff it before you do, by the way.
I'm gonna because
I
oh.
It smells about as bad. It smells as bad as it tastes.
How did I do it?
I
They
looked at the
warned
trap
me
Ray.
not to.
Jesus. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry if I throw up on you guys.
I gotta get out. I told you, man. That is some,
Ow.
that is worse than the bacon soda.
Oh, that smells
God.
really greasy. Oh man, that
It's
smells
bad.
like ranch that's been in an old man's crotch for a while. So bad, it's like sweaty ranch, and I can already taste it. Like your tongue
Oh,
does that
God.
thing.
Oh,
No, I'm
yeah.
gonna drink it.
No,
I just
want to be clear. It does taste exactly like an old man's crotch. Wait for the aftertaste. Are you fine? Are you really cool with this? What's wrong with you?
Oh, he's going back. He's going back for more.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's so bad. It's so bad.
it's not good. It's not as bad as the bacon.
I think, it's,
Oh,
worse
I would
than,
give
I think
this-
it's worse than the bacon.
I would give this a
personally.
4.
I would give that a
The bacon, I don't
I would-
like drinking oil. That just
give it-
tasted like oil.
I would give that a negative 4.
I really like bacon, and I really don't like ranch. That is a negative, whatever. Would you
It's
say
a negative 4.
Negative 4.
I think it's pretty good.
I hate your guts. I hate you. Our friendship just
It's okay,
ended
we
right
cannot
now.
trust Eric with anything ever
The
again.
buffalo wing soda is actually what the idea of spicy soda makes me not even. Oh God. Okay.
All
I
right.
feel a little
I
sick
don't-
from the
Okay,
ranch.
no, I had some water.
It wasn't good.
I
I
feel a
don't
little
think
sick
it was
from
as
the
bad
ranch.
as you guys said it was.
I don't think it was that bad, but
I might
you know,
still-
I don't
everybody.
really like anything.
I really worry that I might vomit.
Well, now I'm worried.
Nope. Okay. It's close.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, so bad.
It just
Confusion.
doesn't taste like anything.
Maybe you didn't get enough.
It tastes
Well,
like
I got it good.
okay, well we'll get some more. Don't drink the whole thing. Like this is how they trick you, see? And then later you're gonna be
See?
shitting your pants.
Oh, we're all.
It doesn't taste.
So this is the buffalo
Really
wing
good,
soda.
yes.
I'm supposed to love this.
Y'all get your fixins. That's actually what it says in the
Yep.
front of the bottle. Is
On
y'all
all
get
of
your
them.
fixins.
Because they're Lester Fixins sodas. It doesn't taste like anything, really.
It's so weird.
It's very mild.
It's a very mild taste. It's almost like a very off, like a flat orange
It
spice.
smells a lot worse than it
Right?
tastes.
Smells
Yeah.
Like a flat mandarin
Smells
orange
like
spice.
The fuck?
Are you drinking the ranch?
He's just gonna drink the ranch. I think Richard will take the corn.
Uh,
I mean, it actually does smell. Oh,
Oh wait, I got a little
Went
bit of
up in my
spice in the back
nose.
when I throw it
Oh,
afterwards. Just a
God.
little taste.
No.
A little
I didn't
ping.
get really anything from it.
oh.
By the way, you can buy Surge now on Amazon. Oh,
No, I'm not. I just.
okay.
Okay, so I have a story to go along with that. The spice is in there, but you got to find it. I did the lemonade diet, the master cleanse for a while,
Oh God.
where it's just like cayenne pepper and lemonade.
Right.
That's what that tastes like to me. So it
Is Eric
just brought.
Is Eric gonna try the ranch and the buffalo wing?
No, you're the one who's gonna do that. You're gonna
Oh,
put them
God.
both in your mouth at the same fucking time, and
I just did it.
it probably doesn't taste like
It's not bad.
No, I don't think so.
It
So
actually
the
makes the ranch
buffalo
a little
wing,
bit better.
the buffalo wing is really not nearly as bad as you would think it is. The worst ones are definitely the. I think we can agree that,
Bad
except you just
aftertaste.
really don't like corn. But I think the
Oh,
worst
it's so
ones
bad.
are ranch and bacon,
It's still bad.
except for you.
I don't like the ranch. I don't like the bacon. This is pretty good.
I think the peanut butter and jelly,
peanut
and for
butter
the
is
people who
pretty good.
don't hate corn, these are squarely in the middle.
Corn, yeah, and then
because this has a light orange and a little bit of a spice there. I
I didn't really get a whole lot of flavor.
Yeah,
from the
go.
buffalo.
I don't know who the fuck Lester is, but your fixins are weird.
I'm taking another hit of peanut butter and jelly, bro.
There it is. Okay, so now that we've flogged ourselves online for your amusement, which is what we do here at GlitchSlap, we're going to move on to some more pressing stuff. I think the first thing that we wanted to talk about was the situation going on, and there's been some stuff floating around the internet with the new releases last week, Assassin's Creed Unity, and then what that means across as far as in the industry, a bigger idea about quality of video games and things. So the first thing I want to do is we've got a beautiful little gallery that we've put together to show you some of the better moments of Assassin's Creed Unity. Now, I myself, once again, haven't had the opportunity. I usually play stuff through the week, but this is a busy week for everybody, so I'm going to get to it. But I'm excited because a lot of what people are talking about is stuff like this.
Oh, God.
Yes. Phantom of the Opera, ladies. This man right here will steal your hearts and your face.
Looks like Leslie Mann.
Oh, you mean, weren't you married to Leslie, man?
Oh.
She might watch this. No, she won't watch this.
No, she's never going to watch this. So apparently there's actually just a slew of bugs. So we've got a nice little set of pictures for you. So this here...
I love this
I
one.
don't
This-
even know what the hell's going on there.
So this is actually from the multiplayer after somebody gets desynchronized and they're taken out, and it's so twisted on itself.
What did we say it looks like?
I mean, I have no idea.
I think of a Silent Hill, like 1 or 2 enemies.
Oh, like he's crawling
Right,
across the
yeah.
floor? Yeah, I can see that. I don't know why he's hanging loose. I mean, that's...
Yeah, he's
you
definitely-
gotta stay loose.
You're not going to like
Shaka
it.
Yeah,
bra.
this is the
Shaka bra.
This is the
Shaka
the
bra.
undead surfer that they found lying crumped on top of himself in revolutionary France. So. And then the next one here is we've got. Oh my God!
Jesus.
This is the stuff of nightmares. This
It
is
is.
what this right here. This is what comes and finds you when you lose your virginity too early. Top hat
Watch
man.
out, children.
This is.
This is what happens.
Slender man of a new generation.
Honestly, that guy looks like something from a German like folks tale. Like
He does.
Don't suck your thumb, or I'll come and bite it off in the
No
night.
face. No face will come and find you. Yeah.
It's click or clack.
So like, look at those teeth, man. This looks like fucked up Mr. Potato Head is what it looks like.
And it looks like an important part of the game too. Like you should definitely be paying attention to the story, and not this guy's horrible lack of a face.
There's another one. Now this is the Demon Crusader
Oh my
with no
God.
face.
He looks morose though, like something happened. He
Actually,
had a bad day.
from over here, it looks like he's in blackface.
Oh man.
Never a bad time.
He
to
does
bring
look
up
like Black Mage. He's like Black Mage Crusader.
He does.
That's what he looks like.
Well, I don't like black mages anyways.
Oh,
You heard me,
okay.
black mages. Get some.
Now I don't know about this. This is the monster that eats your face. This is the flesh-eating monster and loves redheads.
Oh my
It's
God.
floating eyeballs.
Come and get me, my pretty. And then this one personally is like the
Oh,
worst.
Jesus.
Just melted fight. This is the worst thing. I'm sorry. I know we try to stay equality. Like women of all color, size, and everything are beautiful. This woman really is not.
No.
That's what happens when
I
Harley
would agree
Quinn
with that.
melts.
Yeah,
Oh my
this
God.
is.
She looks rough.
Yeah, man. What was the name of
She
that?
looks rough.
What was the name of that movie with where the guy had his face burnt off and his fingers clipped off by the
Darkman?
mob. And yeah,
Darkman?
Darkman. This is
Yeah.
like Darkman.
Oh my god.
Darkman just peeling right off.
I love the Darkman series. They're fun.
So what we want to talk
Bad guy's
about
name in there.
here
Don't worry about it right now.
Oh,
Eric.
man,
is,
bug me.
is the idea behind the fact that these games are continuing to get released and they don't feel finished, and why that happens. You know what I mean? I mean, we see games that keep coming out, and it didn't used to be this way because they didn't have a choice. If a game was released on a cartridge, it had to be done.
Yeah.
If it wasn't done, it was the end. You didn't make any money. People took it back. They got rid of it.
Silver Surfer. Lesser's
so-
Revenge.
So, what, say that one more time.
Silver Surfer. Lesser's Quest. Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Things that are known for being bad through history, they can't possibly change. So we've given people the option. They've taken away our ability to solidify how good something needs to be from the beginning, and as a result, some people feel like they're taking advantage. So what do you guys feel like about that?
I don't know. I think it's probably just this rush to have to get it out, quickly. You set a deadline. You don't want to have to miss it. You figure, well, shit, we'll just patch it later.
Yeah.
But where is the quality testing for this? Is
And
somebody
what's
finding
that-
these bugs before they ship?
Well,
They
you hear
do
so
something.
much shit given to game testers and how they're not paid very well, they're let go and everything like that. But then you got stuff like this. So what exactly is the process there? Are they even listening to game testers? Or?
Right.
So-
are people finding these bugs and they just don't care?
So I can
Yeah.
tell you from a development perspective, those of you who don't know, I've been a software developer for a really long time, so I have at least some kind of perspective on this, not necessarily in the game development. But unfortunately, because a lot of games are based on a cycle that they need to be brought out for people to make money under a certain circumstance.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. There's some more ranch coming back.
Oh man.
It is a mix of all these
That
inside
ranch
us
is
right
going
now.
to keep on giving, I think.
Oh, so-
I'm going to turn that away.
So yeah, no, thanks for
Stop
not
looking
looking
at
at
me.
me.
There you go, America.
But you hit these deadlines, and people are doing what they can to fix things and to bring about bugs. But at some point, they'll just actually say, we can't fix them in time. It just didn't used to be an option. So people would keep pushing back the releases. And now somebody makes a decision to say, what's the money going to be worth? It's kind of like when they do, you've all seen Fight Club. So his job in Fight Club, right, was to figure out whether or not monetarily it was worth doing a recall. Right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same process. They figure out, well, how many people would not buy the game if we released it at this time versus people who do and don't want to wait for it versus how much DLC, which we'll talk about, is coming out. And that's where they end up making that decision.
Right.
So, Terry, what do you think?
The great Shigeru Miyamoto once said in 2012 in an interview about a Zelda game that was released that had a bug in it where it crashed. And this happened in Japan. By the time it came out here, it was all good. But he said an unfinished game released ruins the game permanently in his mind. And I think I noticed when you're looking at Nintendo's games, a lot of them aren't released with major bugs. And they have a longer sales cycle, and Nintendo's profitability is going down the drain.
That's
so
true.
when you look at it from a business standpoint, if I say we're going to have this product and you want to sell it at the time when it's going to sell the most, pretty much whether it's ready or not, because as Dan said, you can fix it in post. But what this leads to is upset consumers who are playing games that aren't finished and sometimes completely not playable, and it takes away from the experience. And you're thinking to yourself, what am I getting for my $60? Well, you're getting...
And the alternative is, what Blizzard's known for, which is, it's supposed to be out here, but we just keep pushing it back. I mean, you can maybe get a better finished product, and people have to wait.
I blame a little bit on the consumer for this because they have to sell it to us when we're willing to buy it for them to stay profitable, continue to make games like one for one. So some people didn't do that and have gone under.
And Blizzard is a unique situation because they're bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars every couple of months from something that's not even tied to a sales cycle.
Yeah.
Their decision to release one new game every 10 years or whatever it is at this point is because they don't care. People just keep paying WoW.
Yeah.
If Blizzard didn't have WoW tomorrow, you would see their entire way that they approach games change.
Yep.
And I was speaking this earlier in our meeting for the Prep meeting.
From Blizzard.
Yeah, and I was speaking about this earlier in the meeting when we had it. I think it has a lot to do with the price of the games.
Good point. Go ahead.
I feel like if we allow them to increase the price of the games and still buy them without holding it to what the prices are, what they've been. When I bought Chrono Trigger, when I bought Final Fantasy VI, back in, was it like 92, 93, something like that?
Yep.
Those games were still $59.99 for a cartridge.
Yep.
Now we have a lot more advanced process, a lot more movie-like stuff that has to go into it, millions and millions and millions of dollars. It's not just sprites. People have to be paid for voiceovers and stuff like that.
Voice acting, motion capture.
Oh, yeah, all this stuff, but somehow we still expect them to get games for the same price. I don't know when the last time that they did a market research on this, but I'm willing to bet that if people said, what would you pay games for whatever reason, if they moved it to $69.99 or $79.99 without it being a specific special release, people wouldn't buy it. So to an extent, it's kind of our fault. We don't want to pay more up front, so we get games that are released too early, patch games that are there, and we have to spend so much money on DLCs all the time.
And even games with like extensive beta testing, like Battlefield 4, had floating guns and all kinds of like buildings lifting up off the ground and rocketing into space for no reason. And even then, with games that we put a lot of work and effort into, we still just want to pay what we want to pay for the product that we get, and we're getting truly great games that are still fun to play, still great games, but
I don't know, in a way, some of these bugs and these glitches are even make the game even more fun. You find some random face-melting Frenchman,
That's true.
I mean, is it more the developer just trying to get it out for a specific season? Because I don't feel like they're not making money off of games. Where, like, Call of Duty comes out and it makes $395 million in the first weekend.
Well, I don't have data about whether or not somebody's making money about stuff. We only hear about that when they release. But I can tell you that DLC is now at least, I think it was like the last time I read it was like 30 to 40% of how much is made on a game is DLC stuff at this point. Because once they've had the initial amount that they've put in and they're removing the costs for the game, I think that they make something like on an average $50, $60 game, they make like $20 a game or something like that. Now, if you add in all the DLC, because DLC is not that hard to produce, usually they're using sprites and stuff that are there, it's almost entirely profit. It's more like 75% of DLC is profit because they didn't have to do any more initial stuff. So they double their profit line by having DLC. Now, I wonder what would happen if we just had a company come out that said, look, all of our games, the DLC will always be free if it's there, or we'll push it back to include it. If we feel like the game is finished, we'll bring it out, but we'll give you DLC, kind of like Evolve, who's just announced recently that their DLC is all going to be free.
Excellent.
But to raise the price of the game to, say, $89.99 across the board. See what happens. Just tell people there's no exclusive stuff. There's no having to buy season passes. Everybody pays $89.99 for this game, and you get everything forever, unquestioned. Would you guys spend $89.99 on a game up front?
And I would have to make a hard decision about that. Like, I wouldn't buy that many games.
I probably wouldn't buy many games either.
Well, I believe
Not
they'd
like
have
I buy
to.
necessarily a lot of games right now, but it would be a lot more, lot different
Be
choices.
very picky in the games that you.
Well, it's funny
Maybe
about
not.
that because what's the difference in price, right? Like, so if you wanted to spend the exact same number on games and we increased it by, I think, $30 a game is what that would be. So really, you should still be buying every 2 or 3 out of 5 games you would have bought before. If it's a straight problem with you being able to pay for it.
Well, I believe that depends on the title. Like a AAA title, that'd be fine for as long as you're getting a really good experience and guaranteed, like, okay, we'll tell you, here's our game we're releasing, here's what you're paying for it, here's 1, 2, and 3, and dates for your different DLCs and what you're going to get for it. Now, some DLCs for games that are AAA titles aren't worth that much. So, like, let's say you were playing Street Fighter, for instance, and they tell you, down the line, pay $80 and we'll give you all these costumes later, but no new characters or anything, and we'll come out with another one. Now, if they gave you
on the flip side too, or not on the flip side, maybe not, but you also have a game like World of Warcraft, which has just come out with patch after patch after patch, improving the game.
But they charge $14.99 a month for you to play.
Yeah.
Would that be a better model though?
Well, I don't know. It depends on who you ask. Some people like the free-to-play model. Some people don't. I know that a lot of people who work for GlitchSlap don't really like the free-to-play model. I think it has to do with the type of game that you're playing.
Right.
Some people like it. If they don't have money up front to pay for it, then they're going to like it better. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'd want all of my video games to be a service.
Right.
I mean, there's the implications of what we're doing across the board as people who are, as consumers, buying into the idea that we are going to let companies continue to get away with basically forcing on us software as a service, whether we like it or not.
Right, some games just aren't going to be a service. I shouldn't have to pay a service fee to play a fighting game.
Yeah.
Only games that you're going to continue to play for months on end that have experiences that are worth playing for months on end.
I wish it was going to stay that way, but if Xbox and Sony have the way that they want it to go about, they've already shown this beta testing, like Sony, PlayStation Now or whatever. That's where they want it to go. They want video games to be a service. So even worse than the way iTunes is right now. You use iTunes, you pay $1.99, you own, quote unquote, own a song. Yeah. You never have to pay for it again as long as you're streaming it from the iTunes service, etc. The way a couple of these services come up, like OnLive that tried to set up a couple of years ago, you guys remember OnLive?
Yeah.
You had to buy the game, and then after you bought the game, you still had to pay the service fees. So you paid you paid $15.99 a month to use the service, and then you paid $49.99 for the game. And after you bought the game, you could use it as long as it was part of the service. And if they ever yanked it from the service, if they lost the rights to do it, you couldn't use the game anymore. PlayStation Now is a little different than that in that you can basically get it for 1 day or 1 hour or 6 hours or 1 week, and the tiers go up. Now, granted, 1 week is not the full cost of a game, but it's way more than what you would expect to pay. I think it's like $19.99 to have a game for a week, and that's where they want it to go. They want people to have to pay every time you play the game. So if you bought a Zelda game, I mean, we're not talking about Nintendo here, but let's say somebody wanted to play Smash Brothers, you'd have to pay your monthly fee to play Smash Brothers. And you have to wonder, we can say, oh, we wouldn't want that, but if that's how it goes and we don't have a choice, and as consumers we don't force them to stop, then are we going to stop playing video games entirely? Probably not.
Probably not. I think the only way that this service can work, as far as like if you want to continue to make games and sell them for X amount, you have to have a tier system. You have to have AAA titles and not AAA titles and separate them by cost and try to cut costs as much as you can on things like making your game only available by download and a few other ways to try to cut out the amount of extra stuff that we're paying for that we don't really need anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way to do it. The only way to do it. Cut back on some of the ridiculous marketing too. I don't need to have a football team sponsored by Call of Duty. You know, that's
don't
enough.
you take the marketing out of E3? Overblow that.
No,
I love
not
E3.
out of
That's
that.
Christmas.
But I don't need
TGS
my Coke cans to be like Master Chief. Remember?
Oh man, like on the Mountain Dew stuff, man. Like Mountain Dew's man with Call of Duty, Mountain Dew stuff all over the place. Like, I mean, if Pepsi's doing it, if Pepsi's paying for it because they want to have an intelligent conglomeration with somebody to have, I get it.
Right.
But should Call of Duty price go up because they're paying into marketing? Absolutely not. Anything else? You want to move on to the next topic?
I just want to say this has been going on for a while, ever since even back in cartridge days. You'll see games that weren't released, not finished. But I think the reasoning for why they weren't finished has changed. A lot of the love before was just lazy production or just somebody A-okayed something without really checking on it.
Right.
Nowadays, we're just meeting deadlines. We're trying to become as profitable as possible because this is like a $22 billion industry, and we have to keep making money or else it's going to go away. And none of us want gaming to go away.
What were you telling me about? Was it Dragon Quest? How many people developed it?
Oh.
Was it like 4 people, 5 people?
The original
was-
Dragon Quest?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally 4 people. One guy did programming, one guy did art, one guy did music, and another guy mapped out the total story. And they made it, and it's been one of the most legendary games of our time. And those same 4 guys will work on every single Dragon Quest to this day.
Yeah, but how big is their staff now?
Oh, it's huge now. But they're just the bosses now.
But now you got the development cost of a Call of Duty game, let's say. Does anybody know what the figures are on that?
Hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of
Hundreds.
millions.
It's it rivals movies at this point.
Yeah, they have major
especially now
actors.
you're getting Kevin Spacey to be in your
Yeah.
Call of Duty game, and
Which may or may not be necessary, like to a certain point.
Well, I mean, I could get on and talk about
Yeah,
that.
we can go on that whole other tangent. That's a great topic. Expect more research and stuff from that.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Next thing you want to go over, before we start running out of sunlight here in the studio, is actually what's going to happen to digital games versus disc games, okay? And so one of the big things that we've read a little bit lately when it talks about who's really big into those is, can anybody say who they think the biggest seller right now of disc games is?
Probably GameStop.
GameStop, right.
GameStop.
So GameStop
Right.
is definitely the biggest place that sells it.
Oh,
What?
is that-
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
Is
that's
that
that's not GameStop. I'm sorry.
that's our fault.
Yeah,
outta
sorry.
here.
There we go.
Okay.
GameStop.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry about that. That's not
Oh,
GameStop.
sorry.
There we go.
I mean, I think that one of the things everybody's starting to look at, and this is where they're pushing it, is that
Gosh, GameStop,
worry, I got this.
it's haunting us right
we're
now.
just duck your heads.
Oh, really?
It's digital.
Oh.
That's magic.
It's the only. Everybody's pushing toward that. We saw that with Xbox One was trying to do, and then they pulled back on it. As we were just talking about,
For one
PlayStation
generation.
Now is trying to do it. They want everything to go digital. In a lot of ways, it makes sense. Distributing games costs money. Printing games, giving it to you costs money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues that go along with whether or not somebody has the rights to own it after they give it to you. But it doesn't change the fact that it's changing. And sooner or later, no matter what anybody tells you, physical games are going to go away. There's a percentage of people who don't like it. I mean, I don't love it, but I've accepted it because I know that I don't really have personal control over it unless we force people to do it, which we could do. Change.org. But other than that, I don't really see anything going on. So we've seen, and actually, Eric, I think you paid attention and then brought up a really good thing this week where places like GameStop, to stay relevant, are having
Yeah.
to do stunts that are a little questionable. Maybe they don't need to spend that kind of money. You want to tell us about that?
So recently, GameStop hosted a Smash Brothers tournament. I believe it was on the West Coast.
Okay.
A lot of different people attended. Apparently, a lot of very, very apt, very able Smash Brothers players. And the person who ended up coming out on top was a 10-year-old girl named Carissa.
Okay.
Carissa, nicknamed now the Destroyer.
Oh, okay.
Well, nicknamed for
Vicious.
a couple weeks because it finally came out that it was a hoax.
Okay.
They actually had a pro gamer named Liquid Korean DJ.
Liquid.
Is that his whole name?
KDJ.
Liquid Korean DJ?
It's Liquid KDJ.
yeah.
Okay.
Who's a pro gamer, and apparently he's super awesome at Smash Brothers. They had him actually playing while she is a professional actress,
Okay.
and she was just trash talking everybody as she was playing. Everybody thought it was really cool. I thought it was cool when I first, did it because I play with my kids. They kick my ass in Smash Brothers, so I don't think it's outside the realm of reason that a 10-year-old might be really good at Smash Brothers. But when everybody started crying foul, they started thinking maybe this is a hoax. Let's do some research, look at it, look at the video. Let's look and see if she's not just mashing buttons. GameStop didn't say anything until a week later, when they came out with the video that showed how they got it all set up. It was a hoax, and GameStop was like, haha, there you go. But the fucked up thing about it is they didn't tell any of those people who were at who attended the event that they were actually part of a hoax, or that it was like a prank. It would have been really funny, because I think that would have been cool, being able to play against pro gamer like that. But they didn't tell anybody, so they came there in good faith, and they got played like really hard.
And apparently,
Go ahead.
apparently they were told they were going to win. It was a tournament, and there were
Yeah.
getting prizes according to you. So basically, they just got shown up, lied to be brought there, and then have the carpet yanked out of them without them even knowing what was going on. So I think that was one of the major problems you were having with you. I'm sorry, what were you going to
Yeah.
say?
I was gonna say, imagine if they just did tell you it was a prank and you actually got to meet this legendary Smash Bros. Player and you're a guy who plays in tournaments. That'd be great. Maybe he'll sign some autographs afterwards.
That would've
some
been
publicity
awesome.
for the
Maybe
game.
give out a couple of free games for the people
Right.
who obviously did very decent. They
Yeah.
can feel about good for showing up.
Exactly, but instead they just pulled the carpet out from these people, and I feel sorry for them. I saw this story now. I was like, wow, kids these days are doing all kinds of crazy things, including hoaxes. That just sucks to hear. It sucks for them. Don't do that, GameStop.
No. And
just sell games.
Like, it hurts their brands.
Jerks.
I don't know if there's anybody out there who really loves GameStop. Like, oh man, I love going to game. You know what I like doing on Thursdays? Going and checking out GameStop. No, I don't think there's anybody who really does that.
No.
So I think everybody is kind of in universal agreement that they fuck us over on used games.
Well, I mean, I want to hold on now,
they
because
have
I
to
think
I don't want to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I think GameStop, and I'm just being real here. Like, I think that GameStop is one of the few real-world-based video game businesses left. I mean, you've got GameWorks in a couple of locations. I think they're still around that do large-scale arcades. Endgame, which you guys see us there all the time,
Yeah.
in
Fantastic.
Tempe, and a couple of other small arcade bars that jump up. But when you talk about games that aren't actually, or companies that are not developing games, but use games as some kind of a service for customers, there isn't a lot of other companies there. Now, I think, to be fair, GameStop as a company has an opportunity. They have a data set. They have power-up cards. They have the publication that you were talking about,
Game Informer.
Game Informer.
Mhm.
So they have a lot of outlets, and I feel like maybe it's just time for them to change what they do away from trying to sell games. They could have just stores that are sponsored by different companies to have people come in and have the games be playable.
Right.
And then buy them online if they want to.
Mm.
You can choose to support GameStop by still buying them online digitally. GameStop actually sells digital games. They make a small margin off of that.
Yeah.
But what they could do is they could have things set up around inside the store where there's a bunch of kiosks with different games coming through, and you come and you play a game if you like it. Maybe you take your phone, you scan a tag, and then that sends $5 to GameStop. There's a lot of ways that somebody could come up with something creative, but I think holding on to the used game even industry, I think is just eventually it's gonna go away. There are small stores in the Tempe area that almost exclusively do Fallout games, flashback games, They were some great people, great supporters of the grand opening for Endgame. We say thanks to you guys for coming on out.
But those work off of the nostalgia factor.
Right. So they're working on older games, and as games continue to go out, the nostalgia is going to move. Right. That bar will move, and people will be like, "Oh, PS4, I remember that. That was like 20 years ago." We're going to get there whether we like it or not, but hopefully we'll still be around doing podcasts and stuff for you guys. But they'll be like, "Oh, did you guys see Smash Brothers 20?
I couldn't see anything on the screen.
Oh God,
what's even happening?"
I can't taste it no more, but now they got Barack Obama flavored soda. Hang on.
Does it taste like black?
Tastes like bullshit.
It's okay.
Not my Mary.
It's okay.
No thanks.
It's okay. Calm down.
But I did want to speak about what you said about GameStop charging a small margin to continue to remain profitable with digital downloads. Now, I'm a pro member. I have my card. I get rewards points. I use them to try to enter contests and stuff. I can get little trinkets and what have you. So for me, I was on my PSN network, and I saw I could get a downloadable content for Dark Souls 2, which came out a few months ago. It was, I think, $13.99 online, $15.99 through the GameStop website. You can download it there, then go to the PSN, and then just do like 2 steps. And I went with the GameStop because I got more reward points, and they gave me like access to the next DLC like a week earlier or something. Which I was like, okay, cool. I'll pay an extra $2, play it a week earlier, less people on the server, can play with my buddy who did the same thing.
That could be a benefit.
Yeah. So if you're interested in little nodes like that, there are ways they can incent you to pay the extra $2 to get it from them instead of going through the PSN network, and that's by using the resources they have and deals with companies.
I do think that having content that's restricted to one or the other dough is a little hinky. Like when I buy something online and then I find out, oh well, I didn't get it through GameStop, so I didn't get these weapons to start.
So you don't get to play as Robin until like 3 months.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that too. Like restricting content per place, I know why they want to do it. Because that brings people that brings them to the table to buy the game, and that's what I'm saying is I don't know that should be what they should do anymore, selling games and trying to make the profit, pushing people to buy games from them in that way. And maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I don't like it, but I see it as a way to incent people. And anything that can get more people to your store to make more money, just from a business standpoint, that's why they would do it. I don't like it, but I see why they do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
No, I'm good.
All right, Dan.
All right.
Dan's good.
Well, I guess we're going to take that for the week. Like I said, we're losing precious daylight here, and we try to use a lot of natural light so we look as nice as possible.
Pretty as we can
while we're drinking our nasty sodas. So thank you again for joining us. Hopefully we'll be doing this every week from now on moving forward. We have busy schedules. We're busy people, just so many people to see. And we hope to see you out there on the web. So catch us on GlitchSlap.com. Check out our videos on there, Let's Plays, and let us know what we can do for you. So thanks, guys.
Before we go, anybody got any articles coming out anytime soon?
I don't know. I do my articles by the day. It's hard to say. Do you have something that you want to say something?
I was just more speaking for Terry there. I know
Terry, you got anything
pretty
going on?
prolific.
I've got a couple of drafts of things coming out, things related to what kind of character you use, the size of your personality type, like if you're a narcissist, are you always going to play as power-based characters, those sort of things. Just a couple of opinion pieces and many reviews and Let's Plays, and we'll talk about that on episode 4, A New Coke.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
Thanks.